looking to get the best performance out of your Ram 1500. So these are the mods that I'm going to be sharing with you guys in this video today. What's up, y'all? Good morning. Happy Friday. Cold start season is officially here. Not gonna lie to you guys. Starting this truck up every morning and hearing that sound with just a muffler delete sounds kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, man. Definitely sounds good, but I'm gonna make sure it sounds even better pretty soon. So that's the goal. So these are the non-negotiable mods. Like, what I mean, like, I feel like you should have, this is like, if you got a Ram, you should have these. Like, this is like top performance mods that your Ram definitely need if you got a Ram 1500. So I'm gonna break down my list to you guys, and then pretty much I'm gonna tell you guys what I personally think. But if you're here for your first time on the channel, do me a favor. Hit that like and hit that subscribe button for me. Help support the channel. I would definitely appreciate it. If you're on the channel for your first time, obviously this is my 2014 Ram, and this is what my channel is based off of. And currently, this is what I'm in. It's my daily driver right here. So, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. So, what mod do I feel like you have to get for your Ram? Have to. Like, if you got a Ram, this is it's a must. I'm gonna start off with saying, if you got a Ram single cab, crew cab, it's gonna be a super bouncy ride for me. I'm on the worst road right now. If you got a Ram single cab, crew cab, quad cab, then this is for you. Now, what I would recommend if you have a Ram 1500, if you want to have, like, I would say this is something that's a must to have, like, it's necessary to have. I'm not going in order, I'm just going off my head right now. So I would say to do the Detroit True Track setup on your truck. If you haven't already, if you don't have that on your truck, I would definitely recommend you do so. Especially if you got a crew cab or single quad cab. I don't know. I do know I think some single cab Rams and stuff, they already have like the upgraded gears and stuff like that. So it's not necessary. But mainly, this is something that's necessary for single quad cab and crew cabs. I would say the Detroit True Track setup is something that you definitely gotta have. It's worth having for your Ram if you got a Ram. Now, my next thing on my list is going to be a 6.4 truck intake manifold. That will be the next thing on my list. A 6.4 truck intake manifold. Highly recommend. I always say this because if you are trying to get performance, you're not going to get any kind of performance out of your Ram if you still have the 5.7 Hemi intake manifold and stuff like that. So I would highly recommend you get yourself a 6.4 truck intake manifold. Would definitely recommend, if your goal is to make power or if your goal is to boost your performance on your Ram, once you get a 6.4 truck intake manifold, you could do like a bigger size injector. You can get imported. Pretty much it's recommended too for you to get it tuned, custom tuned. Definitely recommend it. You can't run it. I don't think you can run it without you getting a tune done. Yeah, that would be my second. That would be like my second thing I would say. That's a necessary mod for a Ram. My next thing gonna have to be, I would say, the oil catch can. Now, I got, like, the brand I have is the J&L oil catch can. That's what I have. clean it out. And I think I have done, I'm not too sure. I think last time I did an oil change, when I did an oil change last time, it was like less than half filled up. So I decided to wait at least till like my second oil change. But it depends though. If you during the winter time, when it gets cold, and like you know how normally normally sometimes it'll be kind of wet outside, something like that. I don't know what the hell. I don't even know how to explain this to y'all. But if you got one, you should know what I'm talking about. But my whole point is the J&L oil catch can is something that's necessary, highly. That's one of the smallest mod that I feel like most people probably don't have on their Ram. Even me, I didn't have it for quite a amount of time until I seen how important it was for you to have. So I would highly recommend you get the J&L oil catch can. There's different size. I don't remember what size I went with, but I know I spent like $250 somewhere around there. So I highly recommend you do so if you don't have one. Now my next thing on the list is gonna have to be it's gonna have to be an aftermarket core air intake. Aftermarket core air intake, I'll say. Man, this road is so super like crazy bumpy, man. That's one thing about you having a lower truck or a lower car at the end of the day. You're still gonna experience bumps, regardless of how good your suspension is. But my next thing gonna have to be core air intake. And I hate driving behind somebody when they driving like 20 effing miles an hour. There's a truck in front of me is a Ram. I'm pretty sure it's some kind of senior citizen that's driving, and he's driving like 20 miles on a freaking 35 miles an hour road. But he's going straight now. I'm making a left, so I ain't gotta worry about that no more. So a core air intake is something, this is something I think everybody get the point. This is like a 9 times out of 10 first timer will buy if you buy any kind of car, that's like the #1 mod that everybody chooses to go with. Even me, like I do that, like that's like, I think that was like my first mod on this truck. Yeah, that was my first mod on this truck. Most people get the point anyway to get an aftermarket core intake. Now I would recommend if you do so to definitely do like a plastic, the plastic con. I wouldn't recommend you going with like the metal con. I know it does look a little bit better, but like the metal cons and stuff kind of attracts pretty much heat, especially if you live in somewhere where it's like summer 24/7. You know, it's not, you don't have a winter time and stuff like that. But I would recommend you get an aftermarket core intake. Now my next thing on my list is gonna have to be some headers. Long tube headers. Always recommend this, yo. They cost money. Long tube headers are expensive. I mean, it depends too. Well, good long tube headers, I'll say, is expensive unless you buy them used. But long tube headers is something that play a major factor in the Ram 1500, especially 5.7 Hemis. You know, like, play a huge role. I'm telling you guys, man, like it's definitely something that's important for you to get. Now, before you get a long tube headers, I would recommend, obviously, you know, you don't have to start off with that right away, because you know, if you don't have the funds, save up, get yourself a good brand. In the meantime, there's a aftermarket exhaust that I would recommend, because that was going to be my next thing I was going to talk about anyway. Now this, like, you could go two route. You know, you can go you trying to save money route, or you can go the route where if you get price doesn't matter for you, then that's good for you. You can get yourself a way better aftermarket exhaust system. Now the one that I know about that's a good brand that doesn't cost too much money, I think it's like Plan B Fab or something. I forgot the name of it, but I'm gonna try to show you guys a picture of it right here. And they sell like good aftermarket exhaust. I think the price around like $400 or $500. I think this is just like a half. It's not like a full length. I think think it's just like the half setup from like the rear, from like the backside to like the out. I think, I'm not too sure, but I know for a fact I've heard about them a while back. I was gonna go with, because I'm gonna get an aftermarket exhaust system anyway for my truck. Like, I don't really care too much about like getting like an aftermarket like exhaust system. It costs a lot of money, because at the end of the day, this truck gonna be loud regardless, with long tooth headers, cam, and just want to get rid of like that stock setup that's on here. But yeah, I'm gonna drop the link down. I'm gonna drop their page and stuff like that once I get a chance to be able to show you guys. Now, my next thing I would recommend that you got to do, if you got a Ram, if you want the best performance out of your Hemi, you have to get a custom cam. It does not matter if your truck is stock, doesn't matter at all. What matters is you finding a good tuner to, tune your truck. That way, you get a transmission and engine tune. That way your truck could be able to run a whole lot better. And you're going to be running on, I think 89. Yeah, 89 is what really recommended for the Rams. If you guys don't know, 89 is what you're supposed to put in these trucks. Right now I run 87, but once I get the custom tune done to the truck, I'm gonna be running 89. They said, Ram recommend 89. It's like more efficient for your engine and stuff. It runs a whole lot better, which I do agree with that. So, you guys, custom tune is something that's very, very important. Very, very much important, guys. And it does matter too when you get in a custom tune on where you plan on getting a custom tune from. I would highly recommend you always gotta stuff like when it comes to tuning these trucks, I would recommend that you speak to somebody who know about Ram, Mopar, whatever, who actually understand, not somebody who just trying to get their foot in the door, because it's something that's gonna mess with your trans, your engine and stuff like that. So you want it to be done right. You want to pay the right amount of money to get the job done. I would highly recommend you do so. So these are like the non-negotiable mods, I would say. That is a must for a Ram. I think I mentioned a custom cam also. Getting a custom cam. I think I mentioned that. These are like this is like anybody first, like, if you, I'll say it this way, right? If you like your first time modifying a Ram truck, or most Ram out there, like guys who actually modify these trucks, everything I mentioned, I might miss probably a few of them. This is like everything that they will do, like everything that they're gonna do and stuff like that. I'm doing the same exact thing, unless now you plan on going a different route where you going full race truck mode and you're gonna be doing a swap, doing much more crazy mods and stuff, then that's different. But this is like the starter kit mod, I'll say. But that's gonna be about it, guys. Make sure you enjoy the rest of your day. If you haven't already, do me a favor, click that subscribe and hit that like button for me, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, stay safe, enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out.